P Diddy, 120 new victims? Let's dive in.
In the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world.
A law firm in Texas says thousands of people have come to them making allegations against Sean Diddy Combs with claims dating back to the 1990s. And this time, the shocking new accusations include alleged victims who say they were minors at the time. We're going to dig into these claims and how it might impact Combs' criminal case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. A well-known Texas lawyer announced to a crowd of reporters on Tuesday that his law firm plans to pursue legal action against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on behalf of more than 100 victims. More than 24 of those future plaintiffs say they were just kids when Combs allegedly assaulted them. We're talking about attorney Tony Buzbee. And it's not just Combs that he says is caught in the crosshairs.
The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us.
God damn! Puffy was trying to get some Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
With people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. We now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. As is always the case in situations like this when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You'd be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. And there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics.
That makes sense. I never thought about it like that either. Fans are short for fanatics.
Already been threatened multiple times on social media. And when I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted.
According to Buzbee, more than 3,000 people have contacted his office so far with stories about Combs, who, by the way, is currently incarcerated in Brooklyn, New York on federal charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs was arrested September 16th pursuant to a grand jury indictment. His arrest came after a raid by federal investigators on his two homes, one in Miami, one in Los Angeles, back in March. Combs has also been subject to a litany of civil suits already, which really got rolling last fall when his ex, Cassandra Ventura, made shocking allegations about her relationship with Combs. Cassie claimed that Combs was abusive for nearly the entirety of their 10-year relationship. She also claimed he forced her to participate in the now infamous sex parties known as freak-offs or FOs, when commercial sex workers would be brought in to have sex with Cassie and others, while the participants were allegedly under the influence of drugs. Those freak-off allegations, by the way, are also at the heart of the prosecution's case as well. And prosecutors claim that Combs recorded these sex sessions, both for his own pleasure and seemingly as potential blackmail. So to hear 100 more lawsuits raises a lot of interesting questions in terms of the timing and its relation to the criminal case. So clearly I'm going to be very busy when all of these lawsuits drop, but the good news is I have something now that I use that has made my life a little bit easier. It is called Upside. It's amazing.
That's a crazy place to try to sneak in a little advertisement, huh?
A little bit of background about the man making these very serious allegations, attorney Tony Buzbee. Now, you may recognize him. You may recognize that name. He has represented multiple women who claim that football star Deshaun Watson, who now plays for the Cleveland Browns, sexually assaulted them. In fact, he just filed a new lawsuit a few weeks ago on behalf of a woman who claims that Watson assaulted her back in 2020. Now, Watson, to be clear, hasn't been criminally charged. two different grand juries decided not to indict him. Busby filed this new lawsuit after months-long negotiations with Watson's legal team.
You would think that all these celebrities and all these stars, all these star athletes, all these star musicians, actors, so on and so forth, they always getting hit with these allegations about SA. A lot of times their stardom will override the truth on what we think is the truth because they're sometimes our favorites at what they do. And now I'm starting to believe that all these stars that had SA cases actually did it because it's like a rites of passage in that world. Now that we know what's going on with P Diddy and we're seeing the ramifications of what they've been doing, I can almost see it now. I can almost honestly say that all these celebrities and stars are guilty, even when we wanted to defend them because they're such masters at their craft. And I don't think that the people who are victims are wrong anymore because it's a celebrity thing. It's like once you get to a certain level, it's like you must do that. It's like a ritual that you have to do these things. It's some pretty weird stuff going on and has been going on for a long time that's being uncovered in 2024. Cat Williams was right.
Apparently went nowhere. The NFL says it's doing its own investigation under its personal conduct policy. But going back to Sean Combs, that's who's now in Busby's sights. Now, from the more than 3,000 alleged claims made, that has been whittled down to 120 people who are moving forward with their lawsuits, according to Busby. Now, in response to Busby's news conference, Erica Wolf, an attorney for Sean Combs, released the following statement. Mr. Combs emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. But Busby...
Nigga, you guilty. Guilty.
Told reporters that the future plaintiffs have, quote, legitimacy and merit thanks to corroborating evidence and witnesses. In fact, a former detective from the Houston Police Department has joined his firm to help vet people and their accounts. As Busby says that some have already even spoken with the FBI in connection with that agency's investigation into Sean Combs, and Busby says they're sharing all information that they come across. The allegations against Combs run the gamut from sexual assault and rape to false imprisonment to prostitution. And of the 120 individual plaintiffs that Busby plans to represent, he says 25 of them were minors when they say they were attacked.
You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males.
Diddy. P. Diddy. What are you doing? See, back in the days, because I grew up in this era, I was like, when Bad Boy came out, I was like in my early teens. So we didn't see Puffy as being this super villain that he is right now. And he's been doing it since then. We've always looked at Puffy, P. Diddy, or Love, as this soft type of guy. He just want to dance on all the videos. He just want to say, take that. Total, help me sing. And shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? We didn't see Puffy or P. Diddy as this crime boss that he is, or somebody that's actually making and causing a whole bunch of havoc within the industry. Now that we're seeing all this come out, I'm really starting to understand how powerful Puffy is, P. Diddy. And it's been close to 30 odd years that he's been doing this. And he's just now getting caught for it. So imagine. And they were saying it's thousands of people allegedly making these allegations towards him. And almost 30 years of just doing that. Yeah, I can see that.
Males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times.
You know, quick little story. I remember me and my boy, Kari, we call him Willie Dot. Me and my boy Kari, one year, this is when the first Making of the Band was coming out. We tried to go audition for, Making the Band, part 1. And it was a blessing because we drove all the way out to New York from Connecticut. We came from Waterbury, Connecticut. And we drove all the way out there from Connecticut to the Bronx. But we couldn't find the place. We couldn't find the audition spot. We couldn't get there. You know what I mean? It was a good ride. It was a good experience. We was out in New York for a little bit, just chopping up, kicking it, got something good to eat, and we went back to Waterbury. But we couldn't find the audition spot, so I'm kind of glad of that. Stay tuned for part 2. And if you want to hear that story about my experiences in the music industry, let me know in the comments. If you like these videos and if you like these reactions, watch a playlist.